Some secrets are too heavy to carry alone, and some choices can haunt you forever. Tonight on Confessed After Midnight, we're diving into 6 anonymous confessions that left friends, family, and even the confessors themselves questioning what's right. Stay with me, because each story ends with a question only you can answer. Story 1. It started when a woman, let's call her Sarah, moved in with her new boyfriend. Everything seemed perfect at first until she noticed a small, seemingly innocent habit. He never washed his dishes. But it wasn't just the mess. He had a very expensive, rare set of dishes from his grandmother that he treasured. One night, after weeks of silently fuming, Sarah decided to wash the dishes for him and accidentally chipped the grandmother's china. She panicked. When she confessed, he laughed it off, but Sarah felt a crushing weight of guilt. Weeks later, she found herself secretly checking the dishes, washing them herself before he could touch them. Her friends started noticing her obsession, but she couldn't stop. The twist? She realized she wasn't just guilty about the dishes. She was controlling his space out of fear, not love. So here's the question. Was Sarah wrong to overstep, even with good intentions? Or was this just human error amplified by fear? Story 2. Then there's Alex, a college student who found himself in a tricky spot. He was always the dependable one in his friend group, but when a roommate confessed he was struggling with a huge personal problem, Alex promised to keep it a secret. Weeks later, Alex's friend unintentionally put himself in danger, and Alex realized he had to tell someone, anyone, to prevent it. The problem? The friend had explicitly said, "Don't tell anyone, ever." Alex wrestled with guilt and loyalty. He finally told another friend, hoping it would help without exposing the secret entirely. But when the secret got back to the roommate, their trust was shattered. Here's the twist. The roommate blamed Alex for breaking his confidence, even though Alex saved him from serious harm. The moral question here is tough. Do you keep a promise, even if it might put someone at risk? Or do you break trust to protect them? Story 3. Next is Jenna, a woman in her late 20s who worked at a small local bakery. She loved her job until she discovered a coworker was taking small amounts of cash from the register. Jenna was torn. She didn't want to cause drama or get anyone fired, but she also knew it was technically theft. One afternoon, Jenna decided to confront the coworker privately. The coworker cried, saying she was desperate and had no other income. Jenna agreed to cover for her, thinking no one would ever notice. Months went by, and the small thefts continued. The bakery started noticing discrepancies in their accounts, and Jenna's guilt grew heavier with each passing day. Here's the twist. Jenna realized she was complicit, and the co-worker depended on her silence to survive. So the question is, was Jenna wrong to cover for her co-worker, even out of sympathy? Or is this just being human in a morally gray situation? Story 4. Then we have Mark, a man in his 30s who ran a small online business. He loved the community he built, but one day he noticed a customer repeatedly asking for refunds, even after receiving the product. At first he thought it was a mistake, but it kept happening. Mark debated whether to confront the customer or let it go. Eventually he blocked the person, assuming it was the easiest way to stop the cycle. But the twist? The customers started leaving angry reviews, claiming Mark had scammed them, and his online reputation took a hit. Now Mark regrets not finding a way to address the situation fairly, but at the time, it seemed simpler to cut ties. The moral question here, is it ever okay to cut someone off without a full explanation, even if it protects you? Or does fairness demand another way? Story 5. Our fifth story involves a young man named Liam who was dating someone he truly cared about. They had been together for over 2 years, but Liam noticed he was growing distant, not because of her, but because of his own unresolved past. One night after a small argument about a misunderstanding, Liam admitted he had been secretly talking to someone else, a person from his past he hadn't told his partner about. He didn't cheat physically, but emotionally he was slipping. The fallout was immediate. His partner felt betrayed and questioned the foundation of their relationship. Liam struggled with guilt, unsure if honesty was hurting more than lying would have. The twist, The confession wasn't about the other person. It was about his fear of being alone and his own inability to process his feelings. Here's the moral dilemma. Was Liam right to be honest, even if it hurt his partner? Or would keeping silent have been the lesser evil? Story 6. Finally, there's Mia, a woman who worked in a busy corporate office. She discovered that a colleague was taking credit for her work. At first, she tried to confront him subtly, hoping it was just a misunderstanding. But the pattern continued, and it began affecting her performance reviews. One day, Mia decided to report the issue to her manager. The manager promised to look into it, but the colleague became defensive, claiming Mia was overreacting. Her office environment became tense, and she started questioning her own perception of events. The twist? The colleague actually believed he was helping by editing her work and taking the credit. It was unintentional, but the consequences were real. So the question is it wrong to expose someone if their intentions weren't malicious, even when you're hurt by their actions? Or is protecting yourself always justified? Every one of these confessions reminds us that life isn't always black and white. Sometimes even well-intentioned actions can hurt, and even selfish actions can be misunderstood. Which story shocked you the most? Which choice would you have made differently? Comment below with your thoughts. Your opinion might surprise you. And if you want more anonymous confessions and moral dilemmas every night, make sure to subscribe to Confessed After Midnight, because sometimes, well, the truth is stranger than fiction.